Hey everybody, it's Mike with the 1974. So I'll say deadline number 2 missed. I'm supposed to be taking this camping on Wednesday, so today is Sunday. So it's obviously not going to be done, but as it turns out, that's going to be all right, as my wife, unfortunately, got injured and broke a bone in her foot, and so she really can't go anyway. So we were going to we're going to use my car hauler as our shelter, but we're not going to go at all now. So right now what I'm working on is making the rear, the new cross member, if you will. It's going to be about probably 8 inches back from where the old one was. So just kind of getting started on it. Show you guys a couple of things. I did kind of a quick layout on this side of the frame and where the exhaust pipe is, because I got a horseshoe around that to fit in. So I now have this piece of flat iron marked out. I don't know if you can kind of see. I've got to remove. This is 6 inches, same as the frame. So removing that piece, top and bottom, so it'll kind of be flush with the frame. And then this is what's going to go around the exhaust. You can kind of see the outline there. And I've got my mill set up with a hole saw. I'm going to cut that out, and then I may mill these away, or I may just use a grinder cutting wheel and cut that away, and probably we'll just cut these in with the cutting wheel, and then I'll have to make these same cuts on the far end down there. The other thing that I'm going to need is where the outlets of the 2 tanks are. I haven't figured that out yet. I'm going to need a half moon cut out, and hopefully I can do it the same way here on my mill with a hole saw. So that's kind of where I am. I'm going to pause you guys and drill a hole, and I'll be back with you. You can see that the hole saw fixtured in the mill makes short work of that steel. There's the plug that fell out. Kind of makes a little bit of a mess with the oil, but if you want your hole saws to last, you got to put oil on them, and I wasn't running it very fast. I can kind of show you here. So not super fast, and it went through good. And you can see I have oh wow, that's kind of cool what it does with the camera. That's crazy. So, but yeah, that's good. Like I said, I think I'm just going to go cut these with just the grinder, probably the easiest way. Doesn't need to be perfect. And then I'll be back to the mill to cut the horseshoes for the tanks once I get that laid out. See you in a bit.
Well, I'm not sure that this is going to come through, but I'll do my best. So you can kind of see the safety gear I have on for grinding and welding. I don't want to breathe in the dust. No, I need the safety glasses are good, plus they're also my cheaters, and then I have a face shield, and you'll also notice long sleeves. So I'm not sure it's going to come through, but just so you know, I'll go look at the finished product here.
All right, here we are. This is the end there that we kind of finished off. And you can see I've grounded. But what I ended up using was a cutoff wheel on a 4-inch angle grinder. And then to clean up, I had my little cutoff wheel and my right angle sander. I did get this side here as well. I'm going to go put it in here in a minute, and I'll show you that. It's probably a little long. I'm probably going to have to cut this end off a bit to fit it in, because I got a pretty good measurement, but I usually make things a little long. It's easier to take a little off than try to weld a piece on. You can see I've kind of rounded the corners, and that's so that it fits in with the frame, the way the steel frame is bent. Other thing I was just going to note is these little cuts here was a good place to use up. You know, you get a grinding wheel that's worn down, you know, to about the size of the head of the grinder, and you can no longer cut in the field of a piece. But I kind of save those, and then when I'm cutting on an edge like that, I burn them up. So that one's done. That one's just about done. That's there. So then there was another one that I could have gone to if I needed it. So just like I say, just a you know, way to use up some of that. You can see the fall off on the floor. Smells pretty metally out here. I did not bring the dog out today because I knew I was going to be doing a bunch of grinding, and she's just so curious. I do send her outside sometimes when I'm doing just a little bit, but I just leave her in the house today. So I'll pause this and we'll see how it fits. So here it is installed between the frame rails, and there's a decent gap on that side. It's pretty tight over here, touching the frame, so it could shift a little bit. But I've got a little figuring to do because I had all I could do to get it in there. You know, with the angle that I had, basically from that corner up there, you know, to this corner back here to this brace diagonally, and my plan is to weld angle iron feet to it, and then those feet will be bolted to the frame. I'm not planning on welding this in place. You could. I just like the idea of being able to take it back out if I need to. For some reason, the way it's made, you should be able to drop the tanks with it in place. But basically what's going to happen is this is going to get bolted across the frame here, and then down the center there's going to be another 6-inch plate that goes from that cross member to this cross member, again bolted in. The piece of angle iron on each side, and that will carry the tank. And then the same thing here. I'm going to put another piece of that 6-inch here and another piece of that 6-inch here with a piece of angle iron bolted to it, so that you can drop the tank out if you need to. So that's kind of my plan. And one of the things I wanted to talk about when I was over showing you the cutouts and everything else is that, you know, I have a lot of tools. I'm very fortunate to have a mill. I think you could do the same thing, fixturing it in a drill press. You can drill that hole with a hand drill, but running a hand drill through a hole saw with a hand drill is just not easy. So, you know, that would be difficult, but and it's not to say that it can't be done and that I haven't done it in the past before I had all these tools. You know, you think about those notches. They could have been cut with a plasma cutter. I didn't use the plasma cutter, but I did cut them with a 4-inch angle grinder, and they could have been cut with a Sawzall. So, you know, there's a lot of different ways to skin the cat. Like I said, I've bought a lot of, I'll call them time-saving tools over the years that to help me out and make things go a little quicker. But don't be discouraged because you don't have a shop that looks like mine. It was a long time coming to get this shop and to get all the tools that I had. But just over time, like I said, I can think of all the work I've done with a with an $80 Sawzall, and you know, these angle grinders, and you know, you can get that stuff pretty reasonably. So don't be discouraged. You can do it. It just takes more time. As a matter of fact, like the cutouts that I'm going to make for the tank, I will use the mill for those, but you can use that same angle grinder. So like I said, don't be discouraged because you don't have all these tools. I didn't always have all these tools. Did a lot of work without them. So, all right, well, I'm going to keep you paused again and figure out the next step. All right, kind of showing you what I've got. So I made some little 1-inch pieces of 1-inch angle iron, welded them in place. I have drilled holes in the frame. I got to finish. I got to pilot hole through. And then I did kind of figure out that with this one on the other side, I think with a little bit of bow, I can get it in. So you can see I've just got it tacked. I didn't fully weld it yet just to make sure it goes in. So I'm going to go put it in, make sure that I can get it in there, get the holes marked, and then I'll fully weld it. So we're coming along. All right, here we go. I was able to get it in. I haven't taken it back out to finish welding the angle iron, but I did have to bow it just a little bit. But I think that'll be fine. The 3 braces that are going forward alongside the tanks to support the tanks will take any bow out of it, and they'll also make it rigid, if you will. And I guess if worse comes to worse, I could drill some holes and bolt a piece of angle iron to it. I was happy that that was able to be welded and I didn't have to bolt that connection down there, so that's great. And you can just see out here we just got, a couple of bolts. Same on the other side. I did make it just a skosh short, so it's kind of pulling tension on it. But yeah, I'm pretty stoked about it, so we'll see what happens with the probably work on the cross brace next, but I'm going to call it for this video. It's long enough. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.